Hello! In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a random note generator. When toggled on, Dispatch creates a stream of random notes that shows up on the keyboard and also plays through the audio system. It's also possible to set the speed of the random notes in milliseconds, as well as to set a minimum and maximum range of notes. To create Dispatch, you're going to learn about the random object, how to generate random values in Max, and how to turn those values into notes that Max is going to understand. So let's begin. Generating a random value, generating a random number in Max is really simple. We just need to create an object called random. And as it says, random generates a random number. To generate one, random requires a bang message on its left inlet. I'm going to do this by creating a button by pressing B on my keyboard and then connecting it to random. I'm also going to create a number box to visualize the output, see which random number I'm getting by pressing I. And now I'm not going to get anything if I lock Dispatch, and if I press this button, I'm not going to get a random number. That's because I need to give the object random an argument, its upper limit in which range it's supposed to generate these random numbers. For instance, if I want a number between 0 and 49, I can type 50. And random 50 is going to give me random numbers between 0 and 49. Keep in mind that you are not going to get the number 50. This argument is supposed to be the upper limit. It is not inclusive in the random values that are generated. So if I lock Dispatch and if I press this button, there it is, I'm getting random numbers, 29, 7, 4, 2, 43, 41, and so on. And these numbers are always going to be in a range of 0 to 49. So we can't really generate random notes, but we can generate these random numbers, and then we can turn them into notes by using kslider or noteout or any kind of Max object that deals with MIDI notes. And remember, MIDI notes go in a range from 0 to 127. So what I can simply do is I can give random an argument of 128, and now I'm going to get numbers that are between 0 and 127. Now all I have to do is turn this into a proper note. To do this, I can simply use the object that is called makeNote. MakeNote generates a note on, note off pair. I can give MakeNote two arguments, a velocity and a duration. And then if I send it a number to represent the pitch, it is going to send that note message outside, and then after a certain time has passed, the duration I specified as the argument has passed, it is going to send a note off message, the same note with a velocity of 0. So let's say I want a loud note. Velocity, like the pitch, is in a range between 0 and 127. So I can simply type 100 for a loud note, and then I need to type in the duration. The duration is in milliseconds. So 1000 milliseconds is 1 second. And let's say I want a note that is half a second long. So I can type 500. So now, if I send the number, a number between 0 and 127 to MakeNote's leftmost inlet, it is going to generate a note that has a velocity of 100 and a duration of 500. We can also play this out by creating a noteout object. I just have to connect the proper inlets to the proper outlets. And now see what happens when I press this button. Each time I press this button, I generate a bang message, and sending this to random with the argument 128 generates a number between 0 and 127. This is sent to MakeNote with the arguments 100 and 500, so it generates a note of velocity 100 and it lasts for 500 milliseconds. Sending this information to noteout makes it possible to actually hear this note. Neat. Now, pressing buttons is nice and all, but if I want a really random stream of notes It might be easier to have an object that sends out banks at regular intervals, an object that would click to this button metaphorically once per second, 2 times per second, once every 100 milliseconds, once every 10 seconds, and so on. Well, to do this, we are going to create one of the essential max objects. And this object is called metro, short for metronome, and outputs a bank message at regular intervals. Metro also requires an argument, and that argument is the interval. In how many milliseconds is metro going to send a bank? In my case, I also wanted to send a new bank once every 500 milliseconds, so once every half a second. And now all I have to do is to create a toggle to turn on and off this metro object. I can create a toggle by pressing T on my keyboard. If I connect it to metro, if I create a button to represent the banks, I can simply lock the patch and I can click on this toggle. And that button flashing means it received a bank message. So now it is flashing 2 times per second, once every 500 milliseconds. If I click this toggle again, it's going to stop working. This toggle is really useful when you're working with multiple metro objects or multiple systems. For instance, I can simply copy this, change the arguments, let's say metro 200, metro 100, metro 10. And I also want to have buttons for each. And now I can just connect the same toggle to this metro. And turning it on is going to trigger all of these metro objects. And if I toggle it off, they're all going to stop at the same time. So it's a very simple and easy way to synchronize multiple metros or multiple timekeeping objects by a single click. But I digress. Okay, now, instead of sending this information to a button, why don't I just send it to random? I mean, random is expecting a bank, right? So if I have it like this, if I lock the patch and if I turn the toggle on, here it is, a random stream of nodes. Well, a random stream of numbers that gets translated into nodes. A nice feature of metro is the second inlet. Instead of just setting the argument here and to being done with it, I can create a number box and I can connect it to the second inlet of metro. And now I can just set in different numbers, different intervals in milliseconds in this number box. And if metro's second inlet receives this number, it is going to set its interval to that milliseconds. For instance, I can start this metro again, and then I can type 1000 milliseconds for 1 second. I can type 2000 for 2 seconds. I can type 10,000 for 1 bang per 10 seconds. Or I can type 100 for, wait for the 10 seconds to be over, and this is also really useful. It's a great way to change dynamically the speed of the nodes, the speed of what is happening, the speed of the random numbers being generated. Now, what I want to do is to create a specific range of random numbers. So far, all the random numbers I'm getting is between 0 and the argument I give to random -1. But what if I want a number between 30 and 50, 40 and 65, or a number that doesn't start with 0? Well, to do this, let's just put aside this patch for a moment. We are going to come back to this. We are going to augment this patch. But for now, I want to create another random object. And let's see, we want a random number between 50 and 60. For no reason, just 2 random numbers that popped into my head. I'm going to create a random object with an argument of 11. So now, if I send a bank to random, I'm going to get a random number between 0 and 10. Yep, it's 0, 7, 1, 8. These are all between 0 and 10. 11 is not included, of course, it's here as the argument. All right, so now if I want a number between 50 and 60, I just need to add the minimum number, so in this case 50, to the difference between this range of numbers. So 60 minus 50 is 10, so I can generate a number between 0 and 10, and I can add the lowest number to it. So instead of sending this number directly to this number box, I can create an object, a plus 50. And I can connect random's output to this object and then connect this object's output to the number box. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to get a number between 0 and 10, and I'm going to add 50 to that number. So worst case, if I get 0, I'm going to get 50, and the best case, if I get 10, I'm going to get 60. In any case, I'm going to get a number between 50 and 60. There it is, 60, 51, 59, 58, 55. A nice thing about this plus object, in fact, a nice thing about any mathematical operator object in Max is that we can dynamically change the number that is being added or subtracted or divided or multiplied by creating a number box and sending a number to the second inlet. See what it says here, set right operand. So if I send a message here, let's say 20, even though this says plus 50, now when a number comes through here, it is not going to add 50 to that number. It is instead going to add 20. So now I'm going to get a number in the range between 20 and 30. 25, 24, 23, 22. Just getting a bunch of numbers, but they're always going to be between 20 and 30. So this is a way to change the minimum number. I can write 10. I can even go to the minus numbers if I want. I can write minus 55, and now I'm going to get numbers between minus 55 and minus 45. Though in this case, it's not really necessary. But how do we set the maximum number? What if I want to also have a second number box where I can type in the maximum number, the higher number in the range of numbers that I want? Sending this 40 to random second inlet is not going to work, because then I'm just going to get a number between 0 and 39, and that's going to be added to 30. So I'm going to get numbers between 30 and 70, I believe. That is not what we want. What I need to do is to get the difference between the highest number and the lowest number in this range. So I can simply do this by creating an object and just type minus, which subtract two numbers, and don't type any arguments, just press enter. Now we can put these two objects here. So I'm going to get the highest number, and from this I'm going to subtract the lowest number. This will give me the difference. So if I want a number that is between, let's say 25, and the highest number is 50, it's going to give me 25, 50 minus 25. Or it could be I want a number between 42 and 66. Then the difference is 24. And this difference is something we can send to random, because we want a random number to be generated in this range. And then we can add the minimum number to this plus object, and finally we get the random number in the range that we want. So I can simply, instead of sending this to a number box, I can send it to random, and then I can set these numbers in order. First the minimum, and then the maximum. And now banging this button or clicking this button is going to give me the random number in the range that I want. One thing to notice here that it's really important to do these things in the right order. The second inlet of this minus object is a cold inlet. It's not going to output a number. So first we need to set this number by putting in the minimum, and then set the maximum number by putting it in this number box. Putting it here, so setting the maximum number, is going to trigger the result of the operation, which is sent to random. There are ways to get around this, as we will see in the coming videos, but for now, it is just very simple, very easy to keep things in the right order. Now let's substitute the system inside the random node generator we have made. So I'm going to delete this random object and I'm going to delete this number box. I'm going to zoom out a bit and insert it here. There we go. Now let's see if this works. Let's say I want a node between 34, I think that's around the middle C, maybe a bit lower, and then 66. Now let's turn the metro on and whoa, this is better. That sounds about right. Or maybe I want something a bit higher pitched, like between 100 and 120. Great. One last thing to do is to, of course, visualize the output, visualize the nodes we are getting. And we can do this very simply by referring to our friend kslider. Sending the pitch value, the pitch node, into kslider's leftmost inlet is going to display the node received on this keyboard. So what I can do is I can simply take the random number that is generated in the range that I want into kslider's leftmost inlet. And now, it is of course not going to show anything because the range is not right. But if I do it like this, the nodes that are being generated is in the right range. It's in the range that kslider is displaying. So now we are seeing the numbers. Lastly, we can include the important objects, the important number boxes, the kslider inside presentation mode, so we can present this without showing the inner workings of our patch. So I'm going to select all these objects. I'm going to choose Add to Presentation. And now here I can just create a nice interface. Let's do it like this. I can set the time here, the minimum node and the maximum node. There we go. And here it is, a random node generator. Of course, there are lots more interesting things to do with this concept. For instance, instead of generating random nodes in a 12-node scale, we can try to generate random nodes in a scale, in a major scale, minor scale, in a scale that we can define. In fact, that is what we are going to do in the next video. But for now, thank you for watching.